Hey guys, Roman here, and welcome back to Viper Bytes. In this video, we're looking at two-ship employment of the CBU 105 wind-corrected munitions dispenser. I'll first roll the tape on the engagement, which showcases mutual support, comms brevity, and directive targeting, as well as switchology. Afterwards, we'll break down the various aspects of the engagement in TAC view. Timestamps are in the video description, and without further ado, let's get into it.
Checking right, reference 0.3. Two saddle, wedge, left. One. Two's got dirt, 1 o'clock. One same. Viper 1, standby fighter. Two, ready. Viper 1, decoy shooter CBU, offset wedge, target SA6, ingress north, egress south. One ready. Two, ready. Two's got additional threat, SA6, 10 o'clock. One same. One mud, 12 o'clock. Two same. Viper 1, action. Two. Singer, defending south. Two, tally, in. Press. One naked. Two's got mud, contact pod. Two's picked up Singer again. Two's pressing. Viper 1-2 stores SA6. Two's off south. One copy. Two, naked, sensor contact. One same.
Okay, we're in the TAC view now, and what appeared to be a fairly decent engagement from the recording, I think TAC view is going to show somewhat of a different story. So let's break down the engagement and we'll break down the comms and see if we can learn something.
She's got dirt, 1 o'clock.
So the dirt call is basically, hey, I've got a SAM site, 1 o'clock, and it's showing search indication.
One same.
So he's acknowledged that.
Viper 1, standby fighter.
2, ready.
Viper 1, decoy shooter CBU, offset wedge, target SA6, ingress north, egress south. 1 ready.
2, ready.
Okay, so the fighter-to-fighter brief, that's an important brief pre-engagement there. It's assigning the roles and it's setting it up, basically giving us an idea of what's going to happen. So the first thing would be decoy shooter. So decoy, that's letting me know he's going to be the decoy, and shooter, I'm going to be the shooter. You can have cover shooter, shooter cover, shooter shooter. Assignment of roles is very important. CBU, that's the weapon we're employing, that's fairly self-evident. And then offset wedge, that's our geometry here. So I'm already supposed to be somewhat in wedge formation. Wedge is 4,000 to 6,000 feet by default unless it's changed, so I'm a little bit close. And then the offset wedge, that's letting me know, hey, we're going to create an offset here. So basically, as you saw later, I'm going to be executing a turn to the right. And then SA6, that's the target I'm targeting. That's pretty straight or evident because, you know, we've got dirt SA6, 12 o'clock. So we're going to try and gauge it. Okay.
She's got additional threat, SA6, 10 o'clock.
So that call was probably not the greatest, right? So probably should have said 2's got additional dirt, SA6, 10 o'clock. Threat is kind of one of those dangerous words we want to use, you know. Probably preserve that for the air-to-air environment, threat group and whatnot. So probably should have used dirt there.
1 same.
So back in wedge.
1 mud, 12 o'clock.
2, same.
So mud call. Okay, now the ante's been upped, right? So the threat is now tracking us, and so I acknowledge that.
Viper 1, action.
2.
So the action call is letting me know, hey, we're going to begin our attack run. And this is where things may have degraded slightly. So I've already kind of anticipated that. And with the threat off here, I like to maintain mutual support. So watch my lead and look at the threat. If I go this way, it becomes somewhat harder. I've got to check this direction and check that direction. Wedge lets you change sides, but as you probably noticed, I didn't notify my lead. So that's going to create a problem here. So the offset's building separation. It's building angles, and it's easy for me to just have good visibility out to that left 10 o'clock. And we're going to try and find that SAM site. So separation's building. There's a SAM launch.
Singer, defending south.
Okay, so Singer. Now I know I'm looking. So I'm looking over that area trying to find him. And this is the problem. So the offset wedge this direction, if he had defended south, it would have created a bracket. Missiles would have been coming this direction, right? I would have been able to easily see those missiles perpendicular, right? And had some better SA there. As it is, because I didn't notify my lead that I crossed to the right wing, he's actually defending away from me, which would make sense. But again, now we've got some compressed geometry.
2, tally, in.
So the tally in call. Okay, I've got the threat site tally. I see it, and I'm in. So what I did in terms of switchology was brought the nose around, HUD soy, TDC down with the Viz mode enabled. So got the little cursor, put it on the base SAM site, TMS up, create a SPI, and then DMS down short, to switch to my TGP and make the TGP soy. With the TGP soy, I can quite easily refine that mark point there, or not really a mark point, but that SPI, and I can redesignate with the TGP. Granted, if we had mark points, you could create a mark point, and you wouldn't even have to necessarily commit on this run. You could simply get the SAM location and start working the problem. But as it is, we're going to continue.
Press.
So the press call, basically clear comm saying, hey, continue. And this is what I talked about with geometry. So he's checking away from me. You can see the missile took the bait and then came back.
One naked.
So now we don't have the offset, and that's totally from lack of communication on my point. So the naked call was simply, hey, I'm not getting any indication.
Two's got mud, contact pod.
So the mud call's like, hey, I'm still getting, I guess it would probably be a singer there, but I'm still getting spiked in lack of better terms. And then contact pod is saying, hey, I've actually refined it. I've got a sensor contact with the TGP, and I see the threat.
Two's picked up singer again.
So two's picked up singer again. I think he meant to say one's picked up singer. Is like, okay, he's got it. And that's a good point, because sometimes when you roll away from the Viper, you've got the RWI receiver points, right, the antennas. They're not going to pick up the threat. So when you roll level, you'll pick it up again. So just a good debriefing point there.
Two's pressing.
So at this point, I'm just letting them know, hey, I'm continuing. And this missile's kinematically defeated. 0.8 Mach, not going to do anything. And this is where I get a little tumbleweed, right? So stores limitation 0.95. Get a little fast here, but hopefully we can look past that. So 12 miles to target. That's the SA8. The SA6 is around there somewhere. Couple AAA.
Viper 1-2 stores SA6.
Stores, I've just pickled, and my target. You know, if we had bullseye information readily available, you could do Viper 1-2 stores, SA6 bulls, and then the bullseye information. It's a great way for people to kind of plot that SA.
Two's off south.
Alright, so the original attack brief, ingress north, egress south. I'm clearly not off south. That's just a tumbleweed situation, so probably would have came better to say off west and then corrected that.
One copy.
So safe escape maneuver there. Turning level turn and then bringing the nose down to keep the energy up, 0.8 Mach. Don't want to get too slow here. And also kind of rolling to kind of look over the shoulder, make sure I don't get shot at here. And if I do, I want to know quite early.
Two naked sensor contact.
So naked sensor contact means, hey, I'm not getting spiked anymore, I don't have mud, no singer, and I'm sensor contact on you. Probably could have put in I'm rejoining as well. So then, last thing to see here is that two CBUs right over the target and pretty much decimated everything. I think there's a single SA8 that survived. So again, this is why we debrief. TACView doesn't lie, and it's a great tool to help us develop into better pilots and wingmen. If you're like me and you value flying with serious, like-minded individuals, then I strongly recommend you go check out the 476 Virtual Fighter Group. The website and Discord links are in the description. Special thanks to Stryker, who is my lead in this sortie. I've been flying with the 476 for a little over 2.5 years now, and I can honestly say it's the most fun I've ever had in DCS. Every sortie has been a great opportunity to learn and improve. There's some pretty awesome folks flying the H-10C, FA-18, and F-16. I hope you found this video to be worth your time. Consider helping us out by liking, commenting, or subscribing below. And again, thanks for watching.